So some things have happened. What's happened is that Bolshevik beat Ben Garrison posted on 8chan's poll, and he drew the rarest of rare Pepes, and now he's selling T-shirts in conjunction with Hot Wheels. Which I'm sure if you had told someone like 4 weeks ago that Ben Garrison would be working with a Chan, they probably would have told you to fuck off. Actually, my whole favorite part about that entire Ben Garrison story so far was the thread. Like, because before he posts that picture of Hot Wheels burning in his chair, he goes like, he's like, I'm the real Ben Garrison and y'all go on to him too much. And just the Anon that was just like, yeah. You're Ben Garrison. Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure you're Ben fucking Garrison. Yeah. I'm Pepe. Like just imagine, because I would have said the same shit. I would have been talking so much trash. Yeah. You're Ben fucking Garrison. Yeah. Right. Whatever. Yeah. Let's lay off Ben. All right, Ben. Okay. And then he posts that, and you're like, holy fuck, that's actually Ben Garrison. I would have freaked the fuck out. That one anonymous man must be freaking the fuck out right now, or like at least he freaked out for that little bit, because that's the funniest shit ever. Because I totally would have been shit posting with just I would have said the same shit. Yeah. It's completely sarcastic. There's no way in hell you're fucking Ben Garrison. But anyway, so that's probably the biggest thing that's happened since the last time I made one of these one man explorers. I'm thinking I'm just gonna call these one man explorers the internet. Off to the internet. Um, and this is actually something I saw in a just a really side note about the internet. This is something I saw recently on Every Frame Painting, which is a YouTube channel. I forget which video of his it was, but he talks about, I think it was the texting video, the texting in movies. He talks about how texting has been kind of, the first time he saw it was in Sherlock, and I think that was the first time I saw it too, was the English Sherlock movie shows with Benedict Cumberbatch kids. Um, but that they showed texting like really in a very interesting way. It didn't seem dated and seemed interesting and worked. And that movies haven't had a really good visual, audio visual way of showing the internet. And I think that's true. It's hard to show the internet. It didn't like in the Avengers 2, which is a movie that just came out. They just show like the like it looked like fucking Jurassic Park style version of inside of a computer, just like those like blue just squares, those blue cubes, just a bunch of blue cubes, and that's supposed to be the internet, I guess. So it's kind of like internet's hard to do visually, but I think I'm gonna call this just One Man Explores the Internet because I just want to talk about stuff that's happened since the last time I made one of these. So I might just call this One Man Explores the Internet, Volume 1. Alright, so after that's the little introduction. So Ben Garrison posted on 8chan's poll. Cuck Chan, bitch the fuck out. Anyway, so there's a couple other things that have happened. Since my last little video about Steam and them selling out, which honestly everyone could see. Everyone could see Steam selling out and being like, Steam's like, oh, I'm gonna merchant up and try to make as much money as possible, but then they rescinded their mods. But I mean, I've never really used Steam like that anyway. I have a few games. I mean, I've used it. I play PC games, but it's just I don't know. I'm not surprised. Is still my thoughts on that. I'm still not surprised. I'm still wary of them. I'd rather not have to use them if I didn't have to. So they rescinded, you know, good for us. Good for the internet that we can finally, tell a company what's what. Um, another thing that's recently happened about the UK elections. In all reality, I have no idea about. I live in the United States. I don't know shit. I'm burger. I go eat burgers all the time. I don't know shit about the fucking UK elections. I've just been following it just because it's been interesting, you know. And I mean, I'm getting more interested in politics, you know. And the UK elections just don't. I don't know much about it. I know that I knew before. Okay, things that I had before the UK election that just happened. Things that I knew. I knew that it was different. I had heard of Nigel Farage. I had heard of David Cameron. But if you had asked me to name the British Prime Minister, I probably would have been like, I don't know. Even though I know I've heard of David Cameron before. And Nigel Farage I've seen just like, or Nigel Farage, or however the fuck they pronounce it. I'd seen him in videos before on the internet, you know, but I didn't really know much, you know. I don't know who all these people fucking are. I didn't know the parties, you know. Anyway, so basically last night I was watching some coverage of the UK elections, and um, it's funny that they're bitching about the first past the post. Um, it's it's a problem that the United States has too. I mean, famously, the last time that happened was in 2000 when the popular vote lost because of the electoral college. But in the UK, the first past the post is kind of fucked up UKIP because you know, UKIP has only one seat but so many votes. You know, and I but the thing is, I don't know what that means. I'm not even sure what this means. I think this is just a parliament election, which I guess is like their senate. I'm not sure. That's the thing. I don't know. And I would do research, but I don't like Wikipedia at all. I would rather get it through some other means. And I don't want to just do endless Google searches where I just type in variations of, you know, how does the British government work again and again and again and again until I get something reasonable, you know? Anyway, if you don't know about the UK elections, Nigel Farage, he lost. He lost South Thanet, which, you know, the internet's going to be pissed about, but I don't know. He's funny, you know. I just don't know. I don't know enough. I would love someone to tell me more about just UK politics in general. You know, if you're a Labour Party or you're a leftist in the UK, I would love to hear your stances on stuff as well. I don't know. I don't know much about European politics in general. I don't know much about it at all. The European Union, as an American, the European Union doesn't scare me. It's more of a we know about the euro. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. Okay, just as an American, I would like to defend America's stupidity. I'd like to defend America's stupidity really quick. All right, I like to defend why we're so how we always like we do those talk shows and they go put a camera in someone's face and they go, you know, who won the Civil War, and they be like, you know, the rebels or something, the Empire. They don't ever fucking like they don't know, you know, like basic stuff. And the thing about living in the United States is that it's not needed. Like, I know that as a person and as a human, that the best of the best need to know simple things like who won, you know, certain battles, you know, like how history is played out, you know, that the Vietnam War, how many American deaths, you know, 60,000 plus, you know, American deaths in the Vietnam War, combat deaths. You know, things like that need to be known by, you know, the best of the best. But the average U.S. citizen really doesn't need to know a lot of this stuff. A lot of history, honestly, a lot of knowledge. The way that America's set up, that's kind of how it is. You know, things that you don't need to know, you shouldn't know because it's considered inefficient and not towards making money. If it's not towards making money or your livelihood, and a livelihood is seen as giving you the money to take care of your kids and your family, outside of that, it's not. It's considered pointless. You know, widely considered pointless by the masses. I mean that's partly why I don't really believe in democracy like that. I think democracy is kind of, you know, I've platonic criticisms of democracy. I mean, I think Plato has decent criticisms of democracy. But anyway, past all that. So I'd just say that's the reason Americans are so stupid, is because they don't really need to know a lot of this stuff. You know, I don't need to know fucking France's president. It doesn't ever come up. Ever. Like, it never will come up. I will be able to do my job and live my life and be happy without, and not just be happy, but make money without having to know France's president. Now, if I'm in government, I need to know France's president. But like right now, I don't know who the French president is. I have no idea. But I'm becoming more interested in these things. That's what I'm trying to get. I'm saying I'm becoming more interested, especially in Europe. You know, I know a little bit about other stuff. How my life has gone is I know a little bit about everything. So, let's see other big things that have happened recently on the internet. Um, oh yeah. So there's two things. There's two things I guess for sure I know I can talk about. There's a Star Wars trailer that came out, and and since there's a Star Wars trailer that came out, the Red Letter Media released Cinco de Star Wars, a new Plinkett, you hack frauds, and I think we can all just confirm at this point. If you know what Red Letter Media is, you know Red Letter Media is the guys that did the Star Wars Phantom Menace review with Mr. Plinkett. They run a website called redlettermedia.com. It's pretty funny. I'd say check it out. You know, it's how I put it, it's high quality for the internet. For the internet, for a purely internet thing, it's pretty high quality. So I mean, I think it's worth a look for sure. I'd say it's worth a look. I would recommend that to anybody, even like a 40-year-old man who has no idea what I'm talking about, doesn't know about the internet. I'd say that's worth a look. Red Letter Media is always worth a look to everybody. And I would say we can confirm that Mike and probably Jay, through influence of Mike, or I don't know I want to call them red pilled, but sympathetic to the red pill. Sympathetic. I would consider them sympathetic, and mostly just because of the Louis C.K. reference in the new Cinco de Star Wars video. I'd say it's pretty obvious almost. It's pretty obvious. Actually, I was talking to my friend about this. My friend said that he knew that Mike was more conservative than normal on the internet because he complained about the government, and he's like, well, that's nothing new. He's like, you complain about the government, but he complained about the Senate. The U.S. Senate, and he's like, in the U.S., the Senate, complaining about the Senate is a very conservative move. You complain about the House, that's more of a democratic move, like a Democrat move. And he's like, so he's like, that's how I thought that Mike was more conservative. So it's pretty funny. That's an interesting point. I called it an astute cultural observation. So I would say he's probably right. Mike is pretty sympathetic, I'd say, to the red pill. He's conservative. I would say Mike's more conservative than you'd usually get on the internet, which is pretty interesting. How do I care about the new Star Wars? I don't care at all. My personal feelings, I really don't. It's like another movie. Like, I'm not gonna cry about it like a fucking faggot, like those dudes that fucking make the reaction videos. I'm not gonna cry. If I made a reaction video, it would be to like the horror, like to get views, to make money. Like, I'm not going to make a reaction video and actually give anything I actually feel. There's no way that I actually am going to be sad. I'm going to be sad because of Star Wars. Like, there's been two good Star Wars movies. 2 out of 6. 2. The first two. The first two. Return of the Jedi, I liked when I was younger, just like I liked Phantom Menace when I was younger. I think it should be widely considered that Attack of the Clones. Okay, this is my thoughts on Star Wars the movies. It should be widely considered that Attack of the Clones is the worst one by far. I think that should just be accepted. Attack of the Clones is the worst. I think Phantom Menace gets gets shit on instead of the Attack of the Clones, so I consider it kind of underrated in that aspect. That people focus on the Phantom Menace when really the Attack of the Clones is the worst one. I was bored. I was fucking straight up bored during Attack. I wanted Attack of the Clones to end. I hated Attack of the Clones, man. I was so bored. You talk about not a Star Wars movie, At least there was something in the Phantom Menace. At least there was something in Attack of the Clones, man. That you talk about not a Star Wars movie. But anyway, But yeah, the Phantom Menace and Return of the Jedi and Revenge of the Sith. I'd say Revenge of the Sith might be actually be the best one out of those three. Return of the Jedi, people like they just give it credit just because it happened back in the 80s, like it was made in the 80s, but it has some kind of moments, like it has the Yoda dying and it has the final confrontation with Vader, but it has Ewoks and Ewoks suck. I'm sorry. When I was younger, I mean, it's meant for kids. But when I was younger, I liked Ewoks, but Ewoks fucking suck, dude. Ewoks suck. I'm sorry to tell you. I'm sorry to tell you, internet. Ewoks suck. The internet, like you're a fucking person. Ewoks suck. So, I mean, I'd say Revenge of the Sith, while a little dark, might and stupid in its own way, I'd say it's almost might be better than Return of the Jedi. So I'd say my rankings would go probably something like this. Empire Strikes Back, obviously number one. New Hope, obviously number two. I think that's just an obvious. Empire Strikes Back gets a lot of credit for being a great sequel and for having an iconic movie moment, not just a science fiction moment, not just a Star Wars moment, but a fucking movie moment with Luke, I am your father. So that right there gives it almost number one status just out of anything. Then the New Hope would be number two. Number three, I'd probably put Revenge of the Sith. Number four, I'd put Return of the Jedi. Number five, I'd put Phantom Menace. And really, I'd say Phantom Menace. I would put Phantom Menace a good bit above Attack of the Clones. I hate Attack of the Clones. I don't know if you could tell. I do not like Attack of the Clones. Attack of the Clones is shit. There are parts in Phantom Menace that I do like. I don't think it's a good movie, but there are parts that I do like. Attack of the Clones, man, there is almost nothing in that movie that I like. That movie isn't just boring and just terrible. It's a bad movie. So there's episode 7 with J.J. Abrams coming out, and I think it's gonna be okay. I'm not really excited or care. I nothing that movie so much right now. So that's the big Star Wars thing that's happened on the internet recently. The Avengers 2 came out. I saw it. It was meh. Super meh. It was another movie to watch. Oh yeah, we gotta talk about that. So, Mr. Medicare. Yeah, if you know his latest video, if you know where I'm going, oh man, it makes me sick in a way. But Mr. Medicare, so AKA Internet Aristocrat, he made a new video about Nick Bate, and if you don't know who Nick Bate is, consider yourself lucky, because he's a pedophile. He's a fucking pedophile. Nick Bate's a fucking pedophile. So Mr. Medicare, MisterMetokur, and I would go watch the Nick Bate video from Internet Aristocrat, and it's just so fucking. That fucker, I swear to God, I would kill that fucker if I saw him in real. I would kill him. I ain't gonna lie, I would kill him. It's not a threat, man. It's not a threat. I'm being completely serious. I think I would kill him. That disgusting fuck. I think I would kill him. Seriously. He molested a. I don't even want to get into it because it pisses me off. It pisses me off. The whole Nick Bate thing just pisses me the fuck off. But like, he's disgusting. It's like a cockroach, dude. You just want to smash it under your heel. It's just disgusting, man. Ugh. You know, it's funny. It's hilarious. I'm not gonna lie, it's funny. You know, Nick Bate is funny. You know, the whole situation is just ridiculous. And, oh yeah, I forgot about his ingenious legal defense. Nick Bate's ingenious legal defense. I mean, it's funny. You know, because he's just so ridiculous. The whole thing is just so fucking ridiculous. But like, it makes me angry. Like, I want to kill him. Like, it's a weird thought. But I do. I want him to die. I don't have to be the one to personally kill him. I'm just saying he needs to die. Like, he needs to not be in society. He needs to be out of my society. I don't want him. I want him gone. You know? As soon as that happens, the better I will feel. The sooner that happens, the better I'll feel. That's how I feel about the whole Nick Bait situation. That whole shit just like I I believe that people exist like that, but it's just like I want them to go the fuck away. And it's ridiculous, man. How do you masturbate in your own shit? And probably my favorite part about that video, and I've seen it. Yeah. That's why I think I'm so desensitized and I just don't care about anything. I don't feel anything anymore because I can watch a video like that and find something funny in it. Like I'm fucked up now, but the funny part to me in that video is that he doesn't even get hard. He masturbates and shit and then says, "Oh, I can't get hard because of fucking my pills I'm taking." like, like, is this some sort of epic prank? Like, what the fuck? But epic prank doesn't even fit because like you're masturbating and shit. There's a point where a prank turns into reality. And that's like, oh, it's like saying, "Oh, I killed you, but it's a prank," you know? Like, no. That's not a prank, you know. That's a crime. You know, "Oh, I just stole your stuff, but it's a prank. I didn't, you know." No, that's a fucking crime. Fuck you. You know, it's not a prank. Anyway, that whole Nick Bait, man. Oh my god. Fucking disgusting psycho. I seriously, he needs to die. If Nick Bait is listening, there's no reason he would ever listen to this because he's in jail. Thank God. But if he was, I would tell him to kill himself for the good of society. He should kill himself for the good of society. He really should. Nick Bait should kill himself for the good of society. I don't even see how that's a controversial opinion, to be honest with you. I think that's just a reasonable opinion. I do like an internet aristocrat a lot. I like his videos a lot. Let's explore around on other stuff on the internet. YouTubers I like. The two only two I'm subscribed to right now are Mr. Medicare and Every Frame of Painting. And Every Frame of Painting does these kind of like very interesting um director side critiques. So critiques from the eye of a director, which is pretty interesting. You know, it talks about shot length and they're interesting video series, you know. Even though his latest videos was okay. It was about some female director. I was like, eh. And then Mr. Medicare is Internet Aristocrat's new channel. So those are the only two that I'm really subscribed to. I watch a lot of Epic Name Bro videos. I've watched a ton of Epic Name Bro videos. Epic Name Bro, people don't like him. I don't know why. He's a very likable dude. I don't know why people don't like him. You know, they called him Forced Nigger Voice Bro, and I was just like, oh, come on, man. You know, like, I don't know. It seems nitpicky to me. It seems nitpicky. I don't watch every single video he's ever made, but it's just like, he makes good stuff. It's quality. I mean, he talks about, and he makes interesting points about things, you know? Now, if you don't like the games that he's playing, if you don't like Dark Souls and you don't like Bloodborne, then don't watch it, you know. But I like Dark Souls. Dark Souls, I know this is gonna put me in the shitter. Dark Souls is one of my favorite games of all time. I think Dark Souls is up there. I do. I really do. I understand people disagree, and I disagree with them. That's how that goes. You know, they disagree with me and I disagree with them, and let's have an adult conversation about it. You know, if you want to talk to me, we can have an adult conversation about it. But Epic Name Bro is probably one of the most interesting people to watch when it comes to Bloodborne or Dark Souls. If you're gonna watch something on the YouTube about Dark Souls or Bloodborne, or you're kind of itching for that kind of stuff, there's no better thing to go to than Epic Name Bro. Just endless content. I mean, just hours and hours of content. It's great. And let's talk about Let's Plays for a little bit. So Let's Plays have been around for a while. I think it's a something awful um, Frankenstein monster that's kind of arose through the internet because it's so easy to do, and YouTube kind of facilitates this kind of easiness along with Twitch TV and the rise of esports. But I mean, that's kind of it's kind of a different thing, but kind of not. But Let's Plays for the longest time, it is a something awful thing. Let's Plays for the longest time, I thought, when I first discovered them, I thought they were stupid. And then I was like, okay. And then I moved on when it got to a point where I didn't have any video games. There was a point in my life where I had no video games, but I was kind of like in video game culture. I liked reading about video games, which is the reason why I ended up being involved in the Gamergate thing. I wasn't involved, but I lurked pretty hard. I lurked pretty hard with the Gamergate. So I was part of. I felt like I wanted to know about the video game culture. That's probably a better way to put it. I wanted to know about the culture. I wanted to be not involved, but knowledgeable about video game culture. And so I wouldn't be able to play some of these games, so I'd watch Let's Plays of them. So I think Let's Plays do serve a purpose for that kind of demographic. And I think the best Let's Plays are not entertainment PewDiePie Tobuscus Let's Plays. They're not. The best Let's Plays are informative, usually really nerdy kids that just love the fuck out of whatever they're playing. They just love it. They know every little detail. They played it 100 times. They know everything that's about to happen. They know everything about the game. The informational, the informative versions are the best ones. They really are. The more informative Let's Plays are, the better. If anyone does a Let's Play, the more informative you make it, the better it is. And why do you think Chugga Conroy is so fucking successful of Let's Plays? It's because they're fucking informative. It's not because he tries to be entertaining. His jokes aren't fucking funny. He's not funny at all. He's very cringeworthy in a lot of aspects, but he's fucking informative. He's very informative. So, I mean, that's why people watch his shit. I don't really watch his shit. I have watched it before when I was into Let's Plays, but I don't watch that shit no more. So the phenomenon of Let's Plays, for a while, I first thought it was stupid. I was like, I just didn't get it. And then for a while, I was like, well, this is kind of a new thing. I kind of like this, I started watching a lot of stuff, but then now it's gotten to a point where I feel like Let's Plays waste my time. They waste my time. Do I think that Let's Plays are bad? No, I don't think Let's Plays are bad. I wouldn't say that Let's Plays are bad. But they waste my time, and I feel better than Let's Plays. I know it's kind of like it's pretentious to say, but I do feel like I can not watch a Let's Play and I'll be all right. It's not like a movie. It's not like a movie. But anyway, I'm drinking anyway, I'm drinking a Florida beer, Swamp Ape. Swamp Ape. It's a double India Pale Ale, 10% alcohol. What is a swamp ape? What is a swamp ape? First-hand accounts describe an intense beast with a potent aroma and bite. Proof that the elusive mystery monster exists? Or proof that brewing with 5 distinct varieties of hops creates an unbelievable, relentlessly hope-hopped India Pale Ale. One taste and you'll know Swamp Ape is real. I'm sorry, I fucked that up. I would do multiple takes, but no. So, FloridaBeer.com, 12 Florida ounces. 12 Florida ounces. It honestly tastes like shit. I hate IPAs, so I'm not the greatest beer connoisseur. I know this is so off topic, but I'm a little drunk, so fuck off. And this is a terrible beer, and I hate drinking it, but I do anyway, because I have no more other alcohol. I don't feel like driving, because driving drunk is bad, kids. Don't drink and drive. No, you can drink and drive, just don't be drunk and drive. There's a difference. You can drink and drive all the fuck you want, I don't even give a shit. But just don't be drunk and drive. Anyway, let's go back to the internet. Less about beer, more about the internet. It's not one man explores the craft beer industry. This is one man explores the internet. Let's see. Oh, there's a new teaser for True Detective. As you can see, I've been on TV a lot. New teaser for the True Detective series. I really like the True Detective series one a whole lot. It's pretty good. Um, Not pretty good. It was better than pretty good. I'd say True Detective. The first season of True Detective was in that kind of upper echelon of TV shows. I'd say Game of Thrones is still my favorite, but True Detective is up there with that kind of Game of Thrones circle. Game of Thrones would be the king for sure, king in the north, but or the king in King's Landing, the king of the seven realms. But too many fucking kings. Anyway, how about this? If Game of Thrones is the king in King's Landing, is the king of the seven realms, then True Detective would be like, and they're not quite king of the north. I'm almost putting the king of Dorne. They're like the Dornish king. No, they're like I'd say they're like True Detective would be like um oh yeah, they'd be like the Iron Islands. Which are badass, True Detective would be like the Iron Islands, they'd be badass. Um I really like that first season a lot. It's one of those things that Matthew McConaughey points to as like, oh, I'm a real actor now. Is a fucking TV show. It's good. It's just good shit. Um, and watching it for a second time really makes it better than the first time. The first time through, the ending is very kind of disappointing, but the second time through, the ending to True Detective is cool. But anyway, non TV related things. Sports. How about this? Let's get into sports really quick. So Mayweather and Pacquiao just had a fight. It's kind of a big deal in sports. Um, so and if you don't care about sports at all, which I understand that people don't care about sports, especially people that never really played sports or they played it and they didn't like it. I understand you not liking sports, but you can understand how a lot of people care. So just humor me for a second. Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather fought, and Floyd Mayweather won the fight in a unanimous decision. And people are bitching that, oh, all he did was run, and all Floyd Mayweather did was, he clenched and he ran. But y'all have never seen a Floyd Mayweather fight before. Like, he does that every fucking fight. That's Floyd Mayweather. Welcome, yeah, welcome to Floyd Mayweather. That's Floyd Mayweather to a T. Clench and run. That's what he's always done. And the thing is you can't beat it. It's literally an unbeatable strategy. No, because when someone actually does go toe to toe, he's a good counterpuncher. That's the thing. It's like he's a defensive fighter who's a top tier counterpuncher. It's hard. It's hard to be. That's why he doesn't lose. That's why he's 49-0. It's because he doesn't really get in real fights. You know, he's been doing that his whole career. People watch the Floyd Mayweather fight expecting it to be some sort of fucking Joe Frazier Muhammad Ali one. Like some sort of fight of the century, which I know they hyped it like that. But if you know that Floyd Mayweather's even in it, it's not going to be some fight of the century. It's going to be boring, mostly boring if you want to see someone get punched in the head. You know, the only reason you're gonna like it if you like boxing. I like boxing. It's a sport. It's more of a sport than people give it credit. People want to see a fight. Boxing is a sport, so I see it. I see it differently. You know. What else? Anything else big on the internet right now? Nothing I can think of. In my world, that's the internet right now. If you have any suggestions about stuff you want me to explore on the internet, that's fine. I've been thinking about my next video being One Man Explores Encyclopedia Dramatica. So if you like that, you go ahead and tell me. I'm gonna do a 4chan video sometime, but I want to be more researched and informative in that video than I am currently. So, yeah, this has been One Man just kind of updates and explores the internet. Nothing in particular. Also, just to let you know, I might be doing a podcast soon, with one of my friends. I've been thinking about doing a podcast about a bunch of different topics, including he loves wrestling a lot. I don't really want to do a wrestling podcast, but he loves wrestling, so we're gonna do some wrestling, but usually it's mostly I'd like it to be other things like movies, music, um, the internet culture, philosophy, um, just politics, just a lot of different topics, sports. We can do a little wrestling. Wrestling's not wrestling is to me is like a TV show. But anyway, it's been fun, y'all. Um, have a lovely time surfing around the web. This has been No Man signing off.